Hey, what's up? Antolino here. I'm a creative director, and for the last 5-6 years, I've been running and creating brands on the tech space. I'm here today to talk with you about what is a brand and what is the purpose of brands. The first thing that comes to mind for some people is differentiation. Yeah, it's true. Differentiation, it's important for brands. Of course, it will help you differentiate one product from another one. But if you ask me, I would say it's much more than that. This is what we're gonna talk about today. So if a brand is more than just differentiation, what is actually a brand? Over the last years, I've been putting together a description for, in my opinion, what a brand is, and I want to share it with you now. A brand is the perception people have from a commercial entity. I want to stop here for a second on the commercial entity part, because it's very easy to think brands and companies, but product can also be a brand, and a person we know that can also be a brand. I now want to stop on the perception part. And I think this is something very important because it was a big shift for me. Like, we as creators or marketers or even founders of small businesses, we don't own our brands. We own our interactions and the things that we do, but we don't really control our brands. We control how our brand behaves and what our brand says and how our brand looks and many other things, but we don't control what the brand is and how it's perceived. So that's why, to me, it's so important to understand that perception is key, because this will help us understand that we need to put effort in every single interaction our users will have with our brand in order for them to build an image of what this brand is. This is something that Martin Neumeyer, one of the gods of branding, in my opinion. Martin, if you're watching this, thank you so much for all your knowledge and all your books. Love them, super recommended. So Marty said, each customer has a different brand of you. Hold on, let's go back to this. Each customer has a different brand of you. So that means if I have 1,000 customers, there's 1,000 slightly different brands, because it really depends on the customer to get an idea of that brand. We tend to think that we have control and what we say our brand is what our brand becomes, and that's not the case. Our brand is constantly being judged by everyone having interactions with the brand, whether that's watching your social media content, whether that's like using your products, or even talking to your customer service. I like to think about this. Whether you're aware of it or not, you are doing branding. And this is the bottom line here. The moment you have a business, you have a brand. The moment you talk with someone online, you have a personal brand, right? Of course, if you're sending WhatsApp to your mom, you don't have a brand. That's what I said before. Brands are for the market. Now we know what is a brand. If you have questions, by the way, please let me know on the comments. I'll be watching. My channel is super small at this time. You have 100% commitment from me that I will be replying every single fucking comment. Now, what is the purpose of branding? What's the purpose of a good brand? To answer this, I want to stop here and want to reference this book that I'm reading. Really good, Sapiens. Most of you already probably read this. If not, it's a massive chunk book that you can buy. What is said in this book is that brands don't exist in reality. The thing what's interesting about this is that we create brands to get people together for something. How can we get people together, right? So if brands are an imaginary construction that we all share, what is the thing that is gonna keep these people together, united to achieve something? This is what I think is the purpose of every single brand in the planet: to build trust. Trust is glue for relationships. So that's why I think the ultimate purpose of every single brand on the planet is to build trust. Think about this. When someone trusts your brand, they're gonna stay with you, right? So we all know that trust for business and for brands eventually turns into money. But here's the thing. If you think about profit, if profit is what you have in mind, even if we say it's long term, if profit is what you keep in mind, you're gonna end up making some decisions that are gonna take you in the money direction. You end up having a self-centered approach and developing a very egocentric brand. The most powerful Brands are those who listen, and those brands that are like people. Actually, I like to say this a lot. Brands are like people. So I don't think profit is a nice way to approach branding. There is, though, a different approach when you think that brands are here to build trust. Because when you build trust, you're thinking about relationships. Trust is glue for relationships. If you're building trust, you end up having a user-centered approach because you want users to stay with you. You end up having a user-driven brand. You might be thinking about this question now. How to build trust in your brand? To make it simple, I've broken up in 3 different areas. Capacity, how good are you at solving your people's problems? Coherency, how good are you at maintaining your words and your actions aligned over time? And consideration, how considerate are you of those people you are trying to help? Let's break down these 3 elements, and let's start with capacity. In capacity, we have things like your product. I'm gonna use Typeform as an example. Typeform is a company I've been working for the last 5 years. So for Typeform, it's basically our forums, right? So we've been improving our forums with customer feedback to make them more interesting, more relevant, and basically more useful. Your content. Think about your content as something that you are producing, but you're giving away for free. But still, it's something you're producing, right? So people will judge your capacity based on your content. And that's one of the reasons why I'm creating this content, and I'm on Instagram, for example, and other channels, because I want to build my personal brand. So my content is my product, and I decide to, for now, give it away for free. So you build a perception of who I am as a creative director. This was a little bit meta, but I think you get the point. When you have your product and your content and you nail this, you're building your capacity. When you do that, you will have revenue, you'll have brand awareness, and you'll have brand loyalty. People are gonna stay for more if you do those things really well. Coherency. And here is where, of course, we have the mother of branding, which is the logo, okay? And the identity and the strategy. All those things help you build coherency over time. There's many brands that don't have a logo. I don't know if you thought about this anytime, but when you think about personal brands don't have a logo because their logo is their face, right? You think about Beyonce. Beyonce doesn't have a logo because she has her face. Logos are for organizations and companies and things like that. We humans like stability and reliability. We like to be able to predict things, right? We don't like things that surprise us unless we want to be surprised. So that's why your logo having a consistent identity that is flexible, but it still is recognizable, it's important to build your coherency. All those things we had in mind when we created the rebrand for Typeform, for example. We wanted to create a very organic, a very human brand, and we've been trying to keep it consistent. Of course, if you look at Typeform's brand today, it's probably evolved and it's changed, but still there are some things that help people recognize Typeform easily, at least against our competitors. If you do those things really well, you're gonna be easily identified, you're gonna be differentiated, and you're gonna have new business opportunities. And I say business opportunities because if you really know who you are, you know who your allies can be. So let's now take a look at the third area of focus, consideration. And consideration includes your customer service and your communication. So think about this. This year has been not easy. We had COVID, we had Black Lives Matter, the US election, a lot of different things that makes us very nervous and at the end makes us feel vulnerable. So we like to hang out with people and companies that care about us. So consideration, being a considerate business and having a considerate brand will actually help you get trust much more easier than the other areas focus at this time. Take a look at this example. At Typeform one day we got this message: how to deal with depression. I feel anxious about my sexuality. If you're working as a support agent for a tech company and you get this message, what would you do? What is the culture of that company that is gonna dictate, in a way, together with your own judgment, how do you reply to a message like this? You have many options, but the way you decide how you answer this is 100% the brand you're building. This is how a brand is built in every single interaction. Brand loyalty and brand advocacy. If you do things very well, people will come to you. If you do things extremely well, people will talk about you. So this is brand advocacy. This is how you get people to talk about you. Alright, I think that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And what do you like to see? What videos would you like me to make? If you have any ideas also, please, or questions, let me know on the comments. If you like that video, hit the like button and make sure you check my Instagram for weekly insights on branding. And I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to say. See you in the next video.